And when the Apostle Paul indirectly speaks of an occasion in which he was caught up into the very presence of God, he calls it being raptured into the third heaven. You'll find this in 2 Corinthians chapter 12. In the same passage, he also points out that paradise is now in the presence of God. There Paul heard many things which were unspeakable, not lawful for man to utter. King Solomon sensed the magnitude of heaven and the omnipresence of Jehovah when he cried out, "Who is able to build him an house, seeing that even the heaven of heavens cannot contain him?" Jehovah is above the earth and all of creation in this particular sense, of his unbounded power and his infinite authority, by which he reigns over all as sovereign Lord. When the Bible speaks of the Son of God coming down from heaven, it means much more than just direction, dear friends. To come down to earth from heaven is an act of condescension and great humility on the part of the monarch over all monarchs. There's also a very familiar phrase which declares that Jehovah is indeed enthroned in the highest, in the sense that he is exalted over all the creatures and creation. It is the shout of the people of God, "Hosanna in the highest." Now this is the phrase found on the lips of those along the road from Bethany on Palm Sunday, on Hosanna Road, when our dear Savior rode into Jerusalem meek and lowly upon a donkey so long ago. In Psalm 118 and verse 25, which we have just quoted, the word Hosanna in the Hebrew text is translated, "Save now," for that is precisely what Hosanna means. When you sing Hosanna in the highest, you are calling upon the one who dwells in the highest, that is, in the heavens, to deliver you or to save you, for Hosanna means save now. The Hebrew is an imperative of the form of Yeshua, which means to save. In fact, it is the same root from which the name Joshua and the name Jesus is derived. As you know, Joshua is simply from the Hebrew and Jesus from the Greek, but it's exactly the same name. When the people cried out, "Hosanna in the highest," they were crying for the one who was come down from heaven, the highest one, to deliver them from bondage.